Hey everyone, I'm Eric. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about something you think you know inside and out, your heart. But a fascinating book, Protecting Your Heart by Professor Sion Harding, suggests there's this whole secret life to it that we've probably all been missing. So let me just start with a question. When you think of your heart, what's the first image that pops into your head? For most of us, right, it's that old biology textbook picture. A pump. A simple mechanical pump just doing its job. But then, think about how we actually talk about it. We get heartbroken. We have heartwarming moments. Are those just pretty words, or is there something much deeper going on?
And see, that's a conflict, isn't it? On one hand, science class tells us it's a machine. But our own experience, our language, our art, everything tells us it's the absolute center of our emotional world. Of love, of pain, of courage. And you know what? It turns out that gut feeling we've all had for centuries was actually spot on.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Because what's so incredible is that one of the world's top cardiac scientists is now saying, yep, your intuition was right. The heart is so much more than a machine.
And this isn't just some fringe theory. This is coming directly from Professor Sion Harding, a powerhouse in the field from the National Heart and Lung Institute. I mean, this is her life's work, studying the heart's deepest secrets. So when someone like her says we've basically gotten the heart all wrong, you really gotta listen. It's a total game changer.
So, how smart are we talking? Well, get ready for this, because it turns out the heart has its own brain. No joke. A secret little intelligence system that's quietly running the show every single second of your life.
The official name is the cardiac intrinsic nervous system. And just to be super clear, this is established science. We're talking about tens of thousands of neurons, actual brain cells that are physically located right there on the surface of your heart. And this little brain, as scientists call it, lets the heart feel, process information, and make its own decisions without waiting for orders from headquarters up in your skull.
Let me give you a perfect example you've probably felt 1,000 times. You jump up off the couch too fast, right? Gravity yanks blood down to your legs, and for a split second, you should get dizzy, but you usually don't. Why not? Because that little brain on your heart sensed the shift instantly. It told the heart, hey, pump harder, right now, and fixed your blood pressure before your main brain even knew there was an issue. See? It's not a dumb pump. It's an active manager on the front lines.
But here's where it gets even wilder. You'd think the brain is the big boss, sending all the messages down. Right, wrong. The heart sends far more information up to the brain than it receives. It's like a scout, constantly sending real-time intel back to HQ about everything. Hormone levels, blood pressure, you name it. And these reports directly shape how you feel, what you pay attention to, and even the decisions you make. That gut feeling you sometimes get, yeah, that might actually be your heart talking.
So if the heart is this smart and sensitive, that brings us to the most dramatic proof of all, the science of heartbreak. And I mean literal, physical heartbreak.
We all use the phrase a broken heart, but it's not just a poetic idea. It is a real, diagnosable medical condition called stress cardiomyopathy. It's also known as Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. Now, a Takotsubo is a Japanese octopus trap because that's literally what the heart changes shape into under extreme emotional pain. Just think about that for a second. Your feelings can physically warp the shape of your heart. So what causes this terrifying transformation? It's a massive overdose of the stress hormone adrenaline. When you experience a profound shock, like losing someone you love, your body is just flooded with the stuff. And while a little bit of adrenaline is useful, a tidal wave of it, well, it becomes toxic. It's literally a poison to your heart. So it's like there's this chemical war going on right inside your chest. On one side, you have this toxic flood of adrenaline stunning your heart cells and causing damage. But, and this is the hopeful part, your body has a defense. It has an antidote. And that antidote is oxytocin. You know, the love hormone. It's the hormone that's released when we hug someone, connect with friends, even when we play with a pet. Professor Harding's research is crystal clear. Oxytocin directly protects the heart. It's like a shield that deflects the damage from adrenaline and actively helps it repair.
Okay, this is where all this amazing science becomes incredibly practical for you and me. If our emotions have this direct physical power over our heart, then we have to start managing them as seriously as we manage what we eat. Professor Harding has a brilliant name for this concept. She calls it our emotional diet. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Just like you might watch your carb intake, you have to start consciously paying attention to your emotional intake. How much stress, anxiety, and anger are you consuming every day? And how does that balance with the good stuff? With connection, joy, and love? So what does this look like in real life? Well, it's about making deliberate choices. To lower that toxic adrenaline, maybe you limit your doom scrolling or turn off the 24/7 news cycle for a bit. And to boost the protective oxytocin, you intentionally make time for friends. You call your family, you go play with your dog. Heck, even small acts of kindness for strangers have been shown to give you a hit of that healing hormone, building up your heart's resilience day by day.
And this brings us to the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. It's not just about managing what goes in. It's about actually learning to listen to the feedback your heart is giving you.
Your heart is communicating with you all the time. That tightness in your chest when you're super stressed, that is not in your imagination. That's a direct signal from your heart saying, hey, we're overloaded here. Those palpitations, that's your heart telling you it just got hit by a chemical storm. And on the flip side, that calm, easy rhythm you feel when you're with people you love and trust, that's your heart letting you know, this is good, this is safe, this is healing. The big shift is to stop treating your heart like a car engine and start treating it like a wise and intelligent partner.
Okay, that was a lot of mind-blowing stuff. So let's just lock in the 3 biggest takeaways you need to remember from all this.
First, your heart is not just a dumb pump. It's an intelligent, sensitive partner. Second, your emotions physically sculpt that partner. It's that direct. Stress literally harms it, and love literally heals it. And number 3, which is the most empowering part of all this, you have the power to protect your heart by consciously managing your emotional diet.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you know this, now that you know that every emotional choice you make has a physical consequence for your most vital organ, how will you choose to protect your heart starting today?
If this explainer gave you a new perspective on your health, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and share it. It really helps get this kind of vital knowledge out to more people.
And of course, if there's a book you're curious about and want to see us break down, let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for your time today. I'm Eric, and I'll see you in the next one.